Okay, let's jump right in. For the past 200 years, our entire society, our whole social safety net, it's all been built on one single foundation: dependent human labor. But as the traditional factory worker gets replaced by the glowing AI brain, we are officially entering the post-labor economy. In this explainer, we're going to dive straight into the source material to map out the macroeconomic survival guide. How do we actually thrive when AI takes over human labor?
Here's our roadmap for today. We're breaking this complex paradigm shift down into 6 logical steps. The end of labor, shifting the tax burden, smart distribution, becoming a nation of shareholders, the deflationary abundance, and finally, sovereign tech in action.
Section 1. The end of labor. The current economic system is quite literally reaching its absolute limits as artificial intelligence rewrites the rules.
This brings us to what the sources call the 90% problem. Think about it. Right now, up to 90% of our social system and state revenue comes directly from taxing human labor. If human wages dry up because machines take over those tasks, the state's financial foundation completely collapses. It's really just basic math.
And we are fast approaching a highly dangerous tipping point. Experts are warning that once unemployment hits just the 10 to 20% threshold, the traditional financing models become completely unsustainable. We don't need 100% unemployment to break the system. Hitting this red zone alone shatters the safety net entirely.
Section 2. Shifting the tax burden. We have to move from taxing labor to taxing capital.
To prevent a total system collapse, we've got to radically rethink where the state gets its money. We have to shift that heavy tax burden off the workers' shoulders and onto the server rack. As companies deploy AI, implementing a robot tax ensures the value generated by these machines goes directly into supporting the social safety net. By taxing machine performance, we make up for those lost human contributions.
On top of that, the sources outline an AI dividend. This acts as a societal return on investment. And seriously, even top tech CEOs are proposing variations of this right now. It essentially mandates that the extreme profits from frontier tech giants don't just stay locked at the top. Instead, companies making massive gains from AI are required to share that wealth directly with the public, almost like a giant community pot.
Section 3. Smart distribution. This brings us to the great debate of the negative income tax versus universal basic income.
Once we shift that tax base, we obviously need a way to distribute the wealth efficiently. The negative income tax, or NIT, operates like a highly efficient targeted arrow, automatically topping up low incomes to a defined subsistence level. Contrast that with the broad, untargeted watering can approach of a standard UBI. But utilizing existing tax infrastructure, the NIT drops social state bureaucracy to near zero. It's absolute precision instead of a one-size-fits-all model.
But regardless of the exact model, the experts agree on one thing: build the runway now. Enter the seed UBI. Imagine starting with just a tiny sprout of, say, $10 a month. You obviously don't live on that $10. The whole point is to establish the technical infrastructure, the plumbing basically, before mass transfers become a critical emergency.
Section 4. A nation of shareholders. Transforming from employee to owner.
To truly thrive in this new era, the ultimate goal is transforming every citizen from an employee who depends on wages into a co-owner of productive capital. How? By adapting the Alaska model. Imagine a national sovereign wealth fund where the state holds shares in leading AI frontier labs and then automatically distributes those technological returns right back to you as a citizen dividend.
This next part is honestly one of the most visionary proposals in the explainer, the newborn capital plan, providing up to 200,000 euros as starting capital for every single newborn. Placed in broad market index funds, this taps into the unbelievable power of compound interest over decades. Just think about that. We're talking about an entire generation that never has to rely on wage labor to survive.
Section 5. The Deflationary Abundance. Moving way beyond basic survival.
If we restructure ownership correctly, the hyperproductivity of machines ushers in something incredible. Forget basic income for a second. We're talking about a universal high income. The massive wealth generated by AI could literally elevate the baseline standard of living for everyone to what we consider upper middle class today.
And then there's the deflationary bonus. As the production costs for energy, healthcare, and everyday goods completely crash because of automation, your purchasing power multiplies. Imagine seeing a 90% discount on the general cost of living. Whatever your income actually is, it suddenly buys exponentially more.
Alongside cash, we might even see universal basic compute. In this new economy, access to processing power might actually become more valuable than money.
Having a digital token for compute power could become your fundamental right to access intelligence, whether you want to research, invent, or create.
With all this abundance, we absolutely have to redefine work. We're talking about a 32-hour workweek at full pay to fairly share the remaining human jobs. Plus, we need to socially and financially reward the things machines just can't do, like volunteer work, caregiving, and creative pursuits. Work simply isn't just for a paycheck anymore.
Finally, Section 6, Sovereign Tech and Action, because distribution absolutely requires creation. Here is the massive prerequisite to all these amazing solutions. We can only tax the wealth we create. Without our own domestic AI giants and high-tech infrastructure, the money just flows straight abroad. To distribute wealth, a nation must create it domestically. No sovereign tech means no capital to tax.
So let's look at the paths before us. Sticking to the status quo means we risk a permanent underclass that's lost the bargaining power of human labor. You literally lose the power of the strike. But if we embrace radical reform, it opens the door to unparalleled abundance, creating a nation of shareholders equipped with real capital rights. As economic experts constantly point out in the sources, history shows governments only act when the pressure in the boiler gets way too high. Politicians generally panic and react only when millions are already unemployed. But we absolutely cannot afford to wait for the crisis to hit. What you should really take away from this explainer is that our economic future is entirely in our hands right now. So, here's the ultimate question. Will society proactively build the runway for AI-driven abundance today? Or are we going to wait for the system to totally collapse before making a change? Which path will we choose?